Welcome back to the broadcast and welcome Wunder of G2. Thanks for joining me. Congratulations on the victory. What was your initial expectation on the match against Fnatic today, and in your wildest expectation, did you imagine you'll be playing against Yone today?
Yeah, I mean, against Fnatic, it's always, of course, a bloodbath of a game. They are not shy to take on the fight, and if you feel like we are stronger, they will often contest it. And yeah, I mean, this game, it didn't turn out too good for them. For the Yone pick, I do know that some people like it into Gragas, or I've seen it before. So I did know that he would pick something crazy like Yone or Riven, something in the likes of those champs. But I just think in general their team composition is not really. It's very hard to play against Real, Olaf, Gragas. There's so much CC, and it's so easy for us to team fight against all these champions that kind of has to outplay, where we just have to press like our no-skill buttons, and they basically just follow and die. So it was really hard for them, I think, to win in draft already.
Yeah, I would say that was a great execution from G2, and in overall, it was a very, very convincing game. Like, it was a revenge match for G2, and this time they actually managed to repel some of Fnatic's chaotic wild aggression. How did G2 attempt to counter Fnatic's aggressive playstyle this time around?
I think, well, we just got our prior picks on the lanes. We got a draft that we are very confident with, a draft that we should usually look to stack up Drakes early. We should look to take those fights around objectives. And I think as long as we play a controlled game around the objectives, I think it's very hard for Fnatic, no matter what team you are, of course, to beat us when we have a draft like this. So I think we didn't really do anything special. Of course, we know a lot of things about Fnatic since we have played them so many times. We know that they like to TP into fights. They like to do stuff like this. So I think Caps was ready to match it, even though it was not always needed for him to teleport. He didn't hesitate on pressing teleport, so we just had a lot of fights that went in our favor, even more so because we were just ready for it against Fnatic.
So it was a draft difference? Was it a grabs difference?
I think they tried something really creative, Fnatic, and I think we just took what came to us. I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer to pick the champs we did. It fits all of our players really well. I think it's what we have had the most success on. But I don't know if it's like the strongest right now in the meta, but it's what we really strive on. So it was kind of just like I think we made drafts really easy for Grabs, or they did. It was not really his drafting genius that came through because, yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have it. So it's mainly just us players knowing what we're good on, and Grabs is just cheering on us from the sideline.
Okay, fair enough. And I will guess being able to have such a diverse draft is a testimony to the capabilities of G2 players. And this victory actually confirms G2's spot in the playoffs. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
It's been a great split for G2 so far. You guys kick off the split in 3-0. Like, Reckless seems to be merging in really, really well with the rest of the team. Is there anything that G2 would possibly like to fine-tune or improve even further between now and the playoffs to reach even higher level of dominance?
I think we are mostly just looking. I mean, we have like of course, very good players in every position. There are some things that, of course, are different now that we also have Reckless. I mean, there's things that he used to do that we didn't used to, and we are kind of still like trying to make sure everyone, of course, has like their say in how we play the game. But I think we are getting there so far. There's not really been any big issues for us yet, and I think every issue we had so far we have kind of solved pretty quickly. So I think that just shows that this team, despite any issues that we can face, I think we'll always bounce back, and that's why I mean I don't really think there's anything game related that we are not open to try. I think it just comes down to the meta right now is and has been like very stale for a long time in terms of like objectives you play for and like how you're supposed to play the game optimally. Of course, sometimes we try to like break I guess like break the stereotype by picking like Quinn, Echo, champs like this that well can 1-3-1 or like break the game in a way that a lot of teams are not used to playing against. But right now we are just we want to of course fine tune the optimal way of playing since last Worlds. The meta just kind of stuck, the Asian meta, and we were not as fast to adapt to it as we would have liked to.
Okay, wow, that is super exciting and also possibly terrifying for other LEC teams perhaps. But thank you so much for this interview and best of luck for the rest of the spring split as well as the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we'll be closing off the weekend with PGL with Reckless. Thank you so much for the great weekend and I'll be seeing you next week. We'll be back after the